absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, November 23rd. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's enjoyed their holidays. Glad to get with you guys. It's pretty rare we get to do this on a holiday, but it just worked out that Landon and I both didn't have anything going on this evening. So we thought, why not? Holiday special. Let's do it.
Really full. Just ate my leftovers. So, yeah, fired up. Ready to go. Ready to get this. I'm ready to win again. So I'm ready for Saturday.
Yeah, it is. It has not been an ideal week, I would say, in the life of a Tennessee fan. So hopefully Saturday goes very differently, and we can kind of turn the tides a little bit here. But regardless, I'm preaching to the choir here, but do not let Tennessee impact your life. Get invested have fun.
Easier said than done.
For 60 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and then just wash it all away.
Yeah. Very, very easier said than done.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell myself just about every single day, like, hey, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Don't let it impact you. And it does. It does, unfortunately. So,
yeah, my wife doesn't even have to watch the game. Like, I'll just go in there. She's like, Tennessee lost, didn't they? I'm like, yeah, they did. I don't want to talk about it.
I feel like that's an easy guess no matter what, though.
Yeah.
At least the last, 15 years or whatever it's been. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee, I've grown up a little bit. Tennessee had made me cry out of sadness since I was a wee lad. Cry to happiness. I'm not too proud to say I cried after the Bama game.
Yeah.
It wasn't billowing tears or anything, but just a nice like a movie cinema type, just teardrop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely just a happy, just overwhelmed a little bit.
I would like to be that happy again. I'm not asking to beat Bama every day, but to make me
that would be cool.
Yeah, it's not possible, but yeah, it would be. I wouldn't complain, but yeah, I know it's not possible, so I'm not going to ask for that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Blake Stansberry's in here. Happy Thanksgiving, boys.
Blake Stansberry. Loyal.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Always
loyal.
Always in the chat. Love it.
I didn't get the invite last night to comedy. Blake or Landon, whoever organized that.
Well, Brody asked me on Saturday, so that's why I went.
He might have said something to me then, if he was right there when we asked him when he performed.
Yeah, he did. Say
okay. Okay. Well, I did not hear. Anyways. All right. It is Thanksgiving. We are going to, we're going to talk some of this Vanderbilt game, wrap up regular season. It's crazy how fast it's gone by. We're going to wrap up the regular season, get ready for bowl season. Real quick, I know we'll talk college football. The Egg Bowl rocks.
Okay.
Do you it is probably one of the more, it's a cool rivalry. It always happens on Thanksgiving. It's almost always meaningless in the grand scheme of college football. Those are two rivals who truly hate each other. And I don't know. It just, maybe it's because I'm usually tired after Thanksgiving Day, the festivities full, but it just always seems like that game rocks no matter how bad it is. Tonight, you had the head coach of Mississippi State lead the team out on a four-wheeler. The absurdity started before the game even started.
I love that.
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. And I love how absurd it all is.
And they're fighting it does mean something to Mississippi State. I mean, I guess it kind of means something to Ole Miss, but Mississippi State's fighting for a bowl game.
it's not meaningless in the grand. It's a game. It could win, loss, all that stuff. I just mean it never impacts the greater college.
Yeah,
football.
people wouldn't watch if it was noon on Saturday, but the fact that it's 7:30 or 8 whenever it started
I don't know.
on Thursday, people were fired up, especially like NFL games so far today.
I mean, I enjoyed that Packers one because I have Jordan Love in a fantasy league, so that was nice to watch.
Okay.
Dan Campbell to A&M.
Good. Not after that fake punt he had. Good God. I mean, yeah, for my sake, yeah, sure, go to A&M, but good Lord, that's horrible. To Jalen Reeves-Maben?
Hey.
How dare you make our VFLs look bad?
That's a fair point. Sports on holidays rock.
Oh yeah.
That's just, I think if it is a federal holiday, you're off work, there should be games all day long.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. It's kind of like a mini Saturday with all the football games.
Yeah, no, I know is a hot take. I've argued with people about this. I think Thanksgiving's the best holiday.
Oh, okay.
Because you technically get 2 days. Because of Friday, you're always off Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same it's the same, like, it's a Thursday every year. Because Christmas sometimes falls, New Year's sometimes falls on Friday, Saturdays, Sundays. But it's always a Thursday. The food, I think, is it's unmatched.
Yeah. I usually have the same.
And then we also, but I mean, it's all like from my perspective, it's always just delicious.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it.
I don't think I've ever left a Thanksgiving like, oh man, even if like there was something bad there was more good than bad.
Okay. I've been to one that I'm like,
that everything was awful.
Yeah.
That's tough. Then you get the weather in our part of in our region of the country is always perfect. I mean, I can't remember a Thanksgiving where I'm like, this weather just sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all the sports are playing like on the same. Except for baseball.
My next point.
If baseball was somehow just able to play on Thanksgiving,
need baseball. We don't need baseball. We don't need it.
Like college baseball?
Okay, college baseball, sure. I just thought you meant it's closer to MLB season. I thought you meant.
No, I'm talking about like if we could get college baseball, like you got college basketball, you got college football, you got the NFL. I'm pretty sure NBA is going on, but who cares about that?
Right.
Yeah, all the stuff that you want to watch besides college baseball is on.
This is the best holiday.
Yeah.
How about that? Every federal holiday, every league has to suit up.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, even if they're not in season, you got to play.
Right. Yeah. 4th of July college football game.
Yeah.
So like at least 2 teams have to play.
Okay, I like that.
Do you think like Nick Saban want to play in it, or is that going to be reserved for like the worst teams?
Yeah, Nick Saban isn't trying to play on a Thursday. There's no way.
I'm talking about. I mean, 4th of July. What if it's on a Saturday that year?
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
President's Day would be an all-time holiday.
I think he would refuse to speak to the media at any point.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Anyways, yeah, Thanksgiving rocks. If you want to argue with me about it, I've got more points. I just won't go into my whole spiel. But yeah, Thanksgiving's the best holiday. Shout out to the Pilgrims and the Indigenous people, both. It took both of them. It was a 2-party effort.
Yeah, shout out.
As far as I'm aware, history's probably it's probably from a negative perspective. I'm probably going to get bashed for that, but I'm sorry. We just celebrated Indigenous People Day. I did it, at least. You might have celebrated Columbus Day if you're not cultured like I am, but I know.
Okay, yeah. I'm with you. Whatever you celebrate, I'm celebrating. Okay. I just need a reason to celebrate. So give me a day.
All right, let's get into the show. Before we do that, though, I'm going to tell you guys about Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectibles store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it all at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the 640 Plaza at 4452 Western Avenue in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember, always bet on the underdog. Just go throw. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to bet, but just for fun, like why not just go throw some on Mississippi State?
Yeah, let's get weird.
Why not?
It is Thursday. It's kind of like a matching game. Things get weird. Things get wild.
Lane Kiffin's Nike
Rivalry.
check is huge on his hoodie. What is that? You think it's a fake?
I don't know, I'm interested in this 4-wheeler thing. I'm like, is this like a Marshawn Lynch kind of thing? Or is it just like the
So was that last week? Was that the first
knockoff of
time?
the Oklahoma Sooners?
Okay, maybe. Is it Oklahoma State? Who is it that has a motorcycle lead? I know, I guess Oregon has can't remember the Duck's name. He leads them out in on a motorcycle. Is Oklahoma State that has a motorcycle pretty consistently, if not every time?
I don't know.
But I mean, you saw that video, I'm assuming, of, is it Jeff Knox? Is that his name? The interim? Riding through the locker room on a 4-wheeler after their last game.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, I'm assuming that's how it happened. And it may be one of those things that someone may lead them out on a 4-wheeler every game. I believe this is the first time the head coach has done so. I hope, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he's given Dabo Swinney plenty of ideas. Dabo Swinney's going to go down the hill and ramp off that little ledge that they have on it.
Did you see RG3 run out with Dabo?
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine the meltdowns on like replies to ESPN or like College Game Day if Pat McAfee had done that?
Oh, yeah.
He's always got a bacon about himself.
Yeah.
There's Pat McAfee again. I love how much old people and then people who think college football means something real that hate Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I don't see what the hate is, but I would not run after Dabo Swinney unless I was going to tackle him.
Okay. Maybe RG3 was going to do that, and then he realized that would. I think he had him.
Okay.
I think he had him. But then he realized.
RG3, have you lost a step?
Oh. I think Dabo technically won the race.
Yeah.
I think he did. It's a good point. God, it would have been awesome to see him lay him out.
Or what if Dabo Swinney just out of the corner of his eye just seen him and just he
stops and blindsides him?
Yeah. That would be awesome too.
Could have been an electric sight, but unfortunately it was not. It was pretty tame all the way around. The one last thing I'm going to say about Pat McAfee before we talk about the Vanderbilt game, Pat McAfee is hated so much that people are like, I wish we had David Pollock back. Shut up. No, we don't.
Oh, my God.
No, we don't.
I mean, I haven't seen that take, but I would love to see somebody actually.
Oh, I've seen it, more than once and far too often.
Yeah. I mean, who is – at this point, I think Lee Corso has more lines than Desmond Howard.
Desmond Howard is interesting for sure.
But I will say this, Desmond Howard laughs at everything Pat McAfee does.
I want to know if he actually finds him that funny or if he just feels like he has to do that for the camera.
Yeah. Or they're like, Desmond, you don't really give anything, no insight, nothing really to give, just laugh. So he's the laughing guy. You need to have one in every group. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, absolutely.
He's doing his part. I appreciate that for Desmond Howard.
I think this iteration of College Game Day is very good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just not as serious anymore.
No, and you still get
I don't think it has to be.
Right. I mean, you still get the serious segments. Also, if you want your serious stuff, like there's videos all over the internet where you can find people breaking down teams. And it's a what, 3-hour show?
Mm-hmm.
And they're covering every game that day.
Yeah.
What do you want them to break down every team's offense in 3 hours?
Yeah,
good luck, bud.
A little comedic relief.
Also, we got to save time for them to run their sob stories. Like they've got to get those in. They'll never give those up.
Oh yeah.
which honestly I kind of like at some point. Sometimes they do run some stories into the ground, but
Yeah, I'm just
sometimes
like,
I like crying at 10:30 on a Saturday
yeah,
morning.
like some are super sad, but you get some. It's just like, oh, I guess we didn't have a lot to discuss
No.
that day. We're talking about somebody who's playing for his second cousin that passed away 25 years ago. Like that's
Dang, going after him.
yeah. I mean, we don't have to have it. Like everybody doesn't have to have the sob story. They can just play because they love football.
I don't know if they can anymore.
I guess so.
All right, let's get into this Vanderbilt game. I guess I'm gonna be honest. You're gonna have to get me hyped for this one. I did my best to get you fired up for last week. You're gonna have to get me this week. And it's not that I think Tennessee's gonna lose. It's not that I think. It's just like it's kind of one of those things. Like, all right, let's just get this season over with.
Yeah, I mean, it's at home. I do think it's a lot different if it's away.
I don't
Really.
I think Vanderbilt's that bad.
Oh, I agree, but I do think like you should be more up for it because it's at home and not
Okay, fair. It's gonna be a lot of people are gonna try to use what the crowd looks like on Saturday, and part of it's gonna be that Tennessee hasn't been as good as they were last year. That's gonna be part of the reason. The main reason is going to be it's Thanksgiving weekend. There's no students in town. I shouldn't say none, but majority of students are not on campus. People are traveling for Thanksgiving that would normally come to the game. So yeah, it's not going to be a normal kneeling crowd, and the most of that reason is Thanksgiving, not the way the team's performing. You saw the crowd last week, and I think everyone had accepted until Jalen Wright ripped off an 75-yard run that we were going to lose that game.
Yeah.
So people are going to try to spin that. It's just not true.
Yeah, but I do think it's a home. It's senior day. You know, there are a lot of seniors. I know people are ready for some of these seniors to be gone, and I'm probably up there with some of them too. But a lot of these guys have been here for 5-6 years. So I do think that's a cool aspect to see them run to the tee for the last time. And then like you just get to beat up on an in-state rivalry. Take out some frustration that you've had over the past 2 weeks and just let it out.
Oh yeah.
Also, I know Joe Milton's going to start. Play damn Nico. Have a plan. Whether that's the whole second half or, you know, he's going to play the third and sixth drive, whatever. But he needs to play. You know, you used that comment last week that, oh, we want to preserve his red shirt, so we didn't play him in garbage time against Georgia. Well, you're going to look really dumb if you don't play him against this Vanderbilt team. And you're also going to look really dumb if you just play him once and then play Gaston Moore and Navy Schuler, two guys that I appreciate, I have love for, but they're not going to help you.
What was the Josh Heupel comment? Because it wasn't straight up, oh, his red shirt. What was it that alluded to it? Because I saw the comment that someone quote tweeted did not sound like he was alluding to a red shirt, more alluding to he wasn't going to help us it wasn't the best for anybody in that situation, essentially.
I don't know the exact comment. I can't remember who asked it. I'd have to go back and look.
Because the one that, again, there could have been another comment. The one I saw, he could have been saying that, but it more seemed like he was saying we would have risked a lot of things, whether it be injury, confidence.
Yeah.
There was too much to risk. Like the risk to reward ratio was not worth it.
Yeah.
And it sounded like he still thinks Joe Milton gives them the best chance to win.
Yeah.
Which isn't super encouraging for the future.
No.
But I mean, hopefully he's wrong. He was wrong about Hendon Hooker the first time.
Yeah. But I do think like he is going to be your quarterback next year. So I do think you need to give him
I think there needs to be a plan, and
Right.
I think that's what's frustrating is there's games not necessarily like this, probably, but more so like the Austin Peas, the UConn, the UTSA. There's probably plans to play the second half, play the entire fourth quarter, whatever it is. And unfortunately, early on in the season, your first team didn't perform well enough to allow you to execute those plans. So I'm kind of in the mode of like, if Joe can't get it done, if the first team can't get it done, like we're going with Nico regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you're going out there against Vanderbilt, who is the worst team in the conference in passing defense and rushing defense, if he's doing the same struggles that he's had the past 2 weeks, you got to try something else.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It's time to move past the Joe Milton experience. For whatever reason, it doesn't work out. I mean, a lot of people are convinced this is the best he's going to get. Let's find out. For somehow, some way, like, I mean, I know it's mostly running the football, and that's not his cup of tea. But I mean, even Anthony Richardson looked like a pretty good NFL quarterback before his concussion.
Well, I just think the most frustrating part with Joe Milton is like you never know what you're going to get. You could have a first half like you did against Alabama where he balls out. You can have a game against Kentucky where he plays well. And then you can have a game where he's a non-existent against Texas A&M and Missouri and Georgia.
Yep. Yeah, it's
but also, like, I do want to talk about the season a little bit because we're kind of like you beat Vanderbilt, of course, take care of business. You get to a bowl game, you are 9-4. I mean, even we look back the last, I don't know, 20-ish years, or well, let's say at least 10. I mean, 2016, 2015, those were your best years that you've had, and you finished 9-4 in both of those years. So even though it hasn't gone as planned, it hasn't gone as expected, you still are sitting here ranked in the top 25. I don't know how. I guess it's just because of who you've lost to at this point. But you're sitting there, and you're probably like exactly where people expected you to be with what you lost last year.
Yeah, and that's this is unfortunately kind of we thought the floor if they finish that 8-4 and then can go win a bowl game, kind of the floor or towards the floor. I guess 8 wins total was our floor. But I said it last week, like just because the season hadn't been great and like you haven't necessarily exceeded expectations or maybe even met in some areas, and that's probably losing to Florida and Missouri both. But you probably just kind of it kind of felt like a middle of the road season. But it's a if this is your middle of the road, like this is better than it's been. And I think that's okay to say as long as we recognize like it's still got to get your middle of the road still got to improve. Like we got to keep improving our basement and keep improving it. And but that going back to what I said last week, it's like this season doesn't mean you have to lose momentum. You can still keep building, and that starts with whooping Vanderbilt and then winning a bowl game. Because I can't right now comprehend how you lose to this Vanderbilt team.
That's a fireable offense to me.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to say that. But if you fail to win the bowl game wherever you're at, whoever you're playing, like it's going to be a talks of like this was and I don't blame them, even though that was technically what we put out our basement. It's like that's still like, and I'm not saying that's fireable, but it's one of those like, all right, what happened this year?
Yeah.
So. But hopefully kind of cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, if you lose to Vanderbilt, I mean, I think just kind of, I don't know, maybe just stop playing football. Or you know what? We'll just my fandom might be on the line this week.
Yeah, I mean they don't have big plays at all.
This would probably break me.
Yeah. They have a really good receiver in Will Shepherd, but I mean, I think Squirrel White is our best receiver right now, like yardage wise, and he has more yards than Will Shepherd. And I wouldn't say Squirrel White's had a fantastic year. I think he's had an okay year, but so that's kind of the only playmaker they really have. Their passing game isn't terrible, but Tennessee's played like two really good quarterbacks. I don't think that whoever they play, Swan or Seals, is going to light them up. Hopefully not. Just get off the field on third down. That's what I want. I want to see improvement. I want to see you just go out and dominate a team that you should dominate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get to happier times. Let's move past the Georgia-Missouri game. You're always going to look at – and Georgia is what it is, I think. You kind of look at Missouri, the way that it played out was just horrible. And then the Florida loss just – yeah, I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb because you look at the college football playoff, oh, you lost to the number 1, number 8, and number 9 team. I mean, that's – a lot of people do that. But then you have that Florida loss that just looks worse and worse.
Right. To add something I'd like to see this week, other than just winning and dominating, Jalen Wright, get to 1,000 yards. If he does what he did last week, he could get it on play number 1, and that would be fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's been pretty much our offense, is like just hoping Jalen Wright breaks one.
Just so he has a big game, yeah. And I mean, I would be okay with him having a 200-yard game this week if we needed to.
Yeah, I just want to see more of Jalen Wright. I just don't think we get enough of him. I mean, he's averaging like 7 yards per carry. Why does he play the first 2 drives and we don't see him again until like midway through the second quarter? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think one thing I'm going to do is go back and watch this season and try to understand our running back rotation, because I have not yet.
It's unreal. I mean, you talk about like riding the hot hand, and I mean, you have to have the hot hand. It's just riding that hot hand on that drive, but it doesn't matter if you have the hot hand. If the drive continues, you're not coming out.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't understand it at all. I don't know how you
Yeah,
go
but I don't
75 yards.
You mentioned like we lose him for several drives at a time, and I don't understand that rotation.
No. I mean,
and then the lack of Dylan Sampson. I don't understand that.
Like, he is like 150 carries less than like Ray Davis at Kentucky, which I understand. Like, that's all Kentucky has. But
what game was it that he dropped the tweet? I think they threw some incompletions in the red zone and lost the game. He's like, I thought I was the workhorse or something.
I mean, we ain't playing him like it. And I don't know, like, he's averaging.
No, not Jalen. Ray Davis.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't.
So even Ray Davis doesn't get the ball sometimes. It's shocking, I know.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand the not using Dylan Sampson, especially like the way our wide receiver room looks. Put the man in the slot.
Yeah.
I mean, we let them run routes out of the backfield. It's the same thing.
If we're going to have a stable running backs like we have, we're going to have to find ways to utilize them more, or Josh Heupel's unfortunately going to get this guy played at Tennessee and we failed to utilize him.
Yeah.
Like it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
And it's a whole tight end thing. We don't have to have a tight end all the time. I understand, like, it helps in the run game. Like, they want to utilize a tight end. We never throw to them. They're not a passing threat. So on passing downs, why can't we just sub them out?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see us utilize some of the tight ends, but they're not. They're playing press man coverage on them, and we don't have guys that can just break away. We don't have a quarterback that can fit it into a tight window. So
yeah, I really like our tight ends, but sometimes we run plays for them, or run plays with them in the game like they're Brock Bowers, and they're not.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they were, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, we should take it to Vandy. Absolutely dump on them just like you did last year. Look better in the passing game, get some young guys in, play them a lot more. I mean, this is the game to do that. But take care of business in doing so. And then let's have a whole month of practice and momentum and whatever to get to a bowl game in Florida. If it's the Music City Bowl that I've seen some projections for, cancel it. We're not going to a bowl game. We'll just pay somebody $1 million to just come play us in our own stadium, and we'll make it back on beer sales.
Maybe. We'll see. Depends on if they accept red box IDs or not.
I'm not going to Nashville.
I mean, I'm not going to
And I don't think we end up going. I think we end up going to the Gator Bowl, but especially like you got to win this game though before. But I don't think Auburn makes it to the Gator Bowl. I think Georgia, Alabama could possibly get in the playoff. I don't know. A lot of things have to work out for them to get there. Well, I guess not really.
It would be fun for bowl season. Let's try to reinvent bowl season real quick, because a lot of people are like, it doesn't matter anymore. It's meaningless with the playoff, and I guess it's going to get more meaningless soon. Then, if that's true, if that's the case, I still love it. But New Year's Six bowls, keep them the same. New Year's Six bowls, keep them the same. There should be some kind of like lottery for the other bowl games, like luck of the draw. Because if they're meaningless, teams aren't going to play their best. Like, let's just see random teams play random teams. None of this bowl affiliation crap. I'm sick of playing Big Ten teams.
Yeah.
Let's just draw it. Just draw names out of a hat, like Champions League and World Cup, and let's see what happens.
I think we play an NIT tournament.
Okay. I kind of like that.
Yeah. More games. More games that don't count toward a red shirt.
So if bowl games don't count towards red shirts, what about the college football playoff? Because I feel
they do not either. They can play in. So if they play in the, I don't think the SEC championship counts. So they could play in 5, 6, 7 games.
Dude, that'd be crazy if like a freshman quarterback came in for an injury or something, and they won their team a national championship and technically still had a red shirt.
Yeah.
Which could technically happen anyways. I guess they could come in the championship game.
I don't know what Tua did when Jalen Hurts was there. He came in the national championship. I don't know how many he played up to that point.
Well, I can't even remember when the 4-game red shirt came.
That's true. I don't remember that either.
It used to be if you played a snap, you're ineligible.
Yeah.
Or you're ineligible for a red shirt. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. Which is wild. It's like 4 games. You can play 4 games and like you're guaranteed 12 in a season. So you can play a third of the schedule, but it's one basketball. If you play in one basketball game, you lose your red shirt.
Really? I just assumed that it was 30%.
No.
I thought it was the same. Oh.
No.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with less rostered players, too.
So, I mean, like DJ Jefferson, he could have played in some of those games that there were blowouts, but
yeah.
I mean, we had to play walk-ons because, you didn't want to lose his red shirt.
Huh. That's really dumb. I thought the NCAA was dumb enough.
I think it's the same with baseball. I think if you play in one game,
I feel like they should at least do it to where it's like, all right, it's 30% of your schedule, but if you play in like one conference game or something, if they're going to do that, if they think there's some advantage to basketball, at least say non-conference you get 30%, and then once conference games start.
Or baseball, it's like they can play any midweek game they want to.
Yeah, or the early ones, like so Tennessee.
Yeah, you can't play a conference game. Yeah,
Tennessee wasn't able to burn any red shirts during that Iona 28 to whatever game because of that rule. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Might have been more competitive NCAA. Sounds like you hate smaller teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like JMU.
I also want to see, going back to the Vanderbilt.
This went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah. Going back to the Vanderbilt game a little bit. I want to see our defensive line dominate again.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Almost like they were just. It's my fault. I started hyping them up. It's my fault. I got excited about them.
And I do think they could also get some help from the linebackers and secondary. If they would play a little bit, or the coaches, if they'd play a little bit more press man, they'd probably have a little bit more time to get to the quarterback, but
Yeah.
they don't because we just leave the running back just wide open. Just no one accounts for him. It's awesome. Bold strategy, Cotton.
All right. I don't even know where we're at or where we're going or what.
Yeah.
I just want to beat Vanderbilt. I don't want to think about it or do anything else. Just want to beat Vanderbilt. Any way possible. I don't care how it happens.
Yeah, score points. Got to score points. I mean, you've been outscored 74-17 the last 2 games. Let's I'm not good at math, but let's score in the 60s and get back to.
Derek Mason has the opportunity to do something hilarious. He'll be on the sidelines for SEC Network this week.
Oh, God.
If he's not wearing a vest, I will be so disappointed.
Yeah.
In fact, he should stop in Nashville on his way to Knoxville, break in, steal the vest that is framed, and wear that one. If he can tape over the Vanderbilt logo if he needs to stay neutral, but he has a chance to be an all-time troll.
Josh Heupel hugs him from behind pregame.
Oh, yeah.
God, what a crap show. Yeah, I hate Vanderbilt.
Oh, I'm with you. I almost don't care about Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I don't really have anything against them until baseball season. That's when I really hate Vanderbilt. The Vandy Whistler, he can go play in traffic.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely from a baseball perspective, I hate him a lot more.
Yeah.
And honestly, why do they not have Whistlers at football games? It'd make them at least a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. We do have some questions. You want to go ahead and get to some of those?
Yeah, let's do it.
We have some of basketball, so I'll save those. We have a question that says, what position does Tennessee look to in the portal most? I think that's what they tried to say. Well, what's the one position Tennessee looks to add in the portal?
They're probably going to focus a lot on offensive line.
Yeah, got to be.
Not super easy to come by. They got lucky getting John Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I got to think they're going to try to find another receiver.
Tight end's probably a big one.
Probably. Defensively, I mean, you just seem to whiff defensively. So I don't really know. But
Well,
I mean,
Omar Norman Lott's been good.
Yeah, so one defensive tackle. Other than that, who else as a transfer?
Kamal Haddon was a transfer.
Yeah, he was.
Gabe Judy Lawley. I mean, he's playing. I wouldn't say.
Right. I
Wesley Walker.
Omar Norman Lott's probably your most successful.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Leave it at that.
I just think it's hard to I think it is a little bit of fool's gold in the transfer portal. Who has been just all world?
Oh yeah, the transfer portal is hard, but yeah, if you can get lucky and find some quality, then go get it. I mean, I know you won't find it's almost impossible to find studs. But
yeah, you're not going to find the best receiver in the country in the transfer portal. I just don't think that's realistic at all.
If we're cheating at all in the transfer portal, we should be texting Michigan players, telling them that we have insiders at the NCAA telling us they're getting the death penalty, and try to get them away from Michigan before anything comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get them in the portal.
If you will fund me, I will fly to Ann Arbor and I'll start knocking on doors like Andy Bowser. I'll be in the dorm rooms.
God.
Just Venmo me and just put Ann Arbor on there, and I'll head that way.
It's the signs.
I'll show you my manifesto.
There you go. All right.
Also, some people are going to hate this. I might try to find a transfer quarterback. Someone like, oh my gosh, Keller Christ type level guy. Who I just mean someone who knows they're not going to start, but can maybe be serviceable if called upon.
Yeah.
I don't think you need anybody to come in and compete necessarily. That'd be good, honestly, but I don't think you need that.
Yeah, I don't know how Tyler Buckner ended up at Alabama. They must have sold him on something other than
it had to be Tommy Reese. Tom Reese. I don't know his name. Whatever he
Yeah.
wants to go by now. If he feels like a real boy, going by Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that's something you try. I don't know who's going to be super interested in, saying that I'm not going to even have a chance to start, or you see Nico and you see the number 1 player in your country and you're just like,
Well, I don't think that's how you recruit them.
No, I know, but like
in your mind though, you don't need them to start.
Right. But you do have to kind of think about like what the situation looks like before you're just like, yeah, I'm going to go compete. Just like, Nico? Okay.
We need someone with blonde optimism who will come here and think they're going to start.
Okay. Yeah. We just need a dog. We're just like, hey, we'll give you a couple packages.
There you go.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Joe would be a perfect
freshman
one.
year.
You can be like, Joe, we're not going to start you. You come in when we need a heave to the end zone at the end of a game or the end of a half.
Okay.
That'd be the only reason why you'd be in the game. I don't know. I was talking to Eric Kane on Locked On Vols the other day, and we were just talking about like Joe just doesn't like have it. He can't just go and win you a ball game, and I think you need that at the quarterback position in this league where you're still behind some teams. Like you just need a dog, and he's just not it.
No, he doesn't have the whatever it is.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the him factor.
Yes, the himothy.
Yeah. Did you say you were on Locked On Vols?
Yeah, I don't know I don't think it's posted.
I was about to say you haven't said anything about that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's posted yet, but we recorded. We'll segment.
Nice.
So yeah, he said you're coming on next. So
oh gosh. Well,
yeah.
We'll just record that leave it in the depths, hopefully.
Yeah, I signed you up. I hope you're cool with that. If you're not, I don't care. I did it.
I mean, I'm more concerned if Eric's cool with that, but I'd love to.
Well, I told him, I was like, I'm going to keep having you on my show so you feel bad and keep having me on your show.
There you go.
Yeah. I also asked him what coach would you rather play for, Eli Drinkwitz or Shane Beamer?
I feel like Eli Drinkwitz is less. He's probably like a little more he's probably more dorky, but in a more endearing way. Yeah. And then he doesn't seem as self-centered as Beamer does.
Yeah.
So it's probably Eli. Eli seems, I think if I was around Eli Drinkwitz, he seems like I'd probably like him. I don't think I would like Shane Beamer if I was around him.
See, I think the players like Shane Beamer more than like.
I know they're losing this year, but it doesn't seem like the players love him.
Yeah.
And even then, like last year, you had some weird transfers.
But yeah, Drinkwitz does like have a good offensive mind. I don't know what Shane Beamer brings.
Beamer ball, baby.
Yeah.
I think the players seem to like Drinkwitz just as much. I just think it's as in your face because Missouri doesn't try to make videos showing how much.
Yeah, they just don't have
their coach love
media department at all.
I think everything that comes out of South Carolina, it does, like their media does look like they like Shane Beamer, but then when you look at the players tweeting,
it's getting old.
Parents tweeting,
that, yeah,
it's looking more and more like the Butch Jones era.
Yeah,
in South Carolina.
Yeah. All right, let's give a game prediction real quick, and then we'll move on here.
56-13 Vols. Touchdowns. Nico gets.
What did you say? Tell me.
56-13.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go 52-10. Let's put up points. Tavaday running the football. Dylan Sampson have a big day. Jalen Wright gets to 1,000. Good Lord, we are so low at the number of bodies we have at receiver. I was just kind of looking, like going through the names in my head. Hey, let's get Chaz Nimrod a big day. Why not? I do think they look pretty good against Georgia. Now, I know they didn't have a ton of opportunities, but him and Caleb Webb, like, I thought looked pretty decent in my opinion.
Yeah. I think they have a lot of growing to do, but they look like they should do fine on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the Vanderbilt doesn't have Brock Bowers, so that helps. I'm interested to see kind of like Tennessee just beat up. So I'm interested to see like who plays, obviously who runs to the T. That's probably a big deal in terms of like who's coming back next year. So yeah, a lot of things to keep your eyes on Saturday. It is 3:30. So we'll have a little tailgate. I'm sure some people will be out of town, so probably won't be huge like the Georgia game was. But yeah, feel free to stop by if you're able to. And we won't have a Thanksgiving feast, but we'll have some dips and some.
Sounds like you have leftovers. You're not bringing those?
Oh, they're gone. Down the hatch, baby.
You only brought enough for one meal? You only brought enough home for one meal?
Well, I mean, if I want to go eat tomorrow, I'll just go back to my parents' house.
All right.
Yeah. I just got one plate.
It's fair.
Yeah. I will say it is pretty nice showing up to the family Thanksgiving, just knowing that you provided the ham. It's like
that you were also gifted.
Exactly, yeah. But
dude, those honey baked hams are good though.
Oh, they're gas.
They're so good. Did you get the ham and turkey, or did you just get the ham?
Just the ham.
Okay.
You can choose at work. You can choose to get a ham or a turkey. Dude,
somehow Kara got both. I don't know if someone gave them theirs. I don't know what happened.
Oh, she is a thief. Okay,
Probably.
I will be reporting her to HR tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, the people who bypass the ham to get a turkey do not trust this.
The honey baked ham turkey is delicious. I promise. I agree with you that the ham is better, but dude, it is the turkey. Don't sleep on that honey baked ham turkey. It's so good. Smithfield knows how to do it. Whatever they're injecting their turkeys with is probably cruel, but also makes them delicious.
I'll take your word for it. I've never had it, but I've had like regular turkey. Dude, regular turkey just sucks.
I agree that overall turkey sucks. In the last few years, I guess I've just been around people that can cook a turkey. I've had some pretty good turkey lately. Still, again, ham superior.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like pretty often people don't know how to make turkey. It's usually garbo. Yeah. But I've had some pretty good turkeys. I saw some pretty good turkeys online today. Shout out to Grit. Looks like he was smoking up a good turkey. So
yeah, I feel like you got to spend some time on the turkey.
Yeah, it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time on that ham.
Yeah, I bet. Took you a little while to get it from the garage to the fridge.
Yeah,
on Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever y'all got them.
Yeah, it was rough, but yeah, showing up to the family things. Like
when I was a Smithfield employee, I got one for Christmas. That was our Christmas bonus. Which sounds stupid, and it is, but I was also I was making like $10 an hour working at the peanut shop. So when you factor in a Smithfield ham as your Christmas gift, it's a pretty good gift.
Huge perk.
Huge perk.
I mean, like people like if you like cut them in line or anything for ham, like I mean, I'm sure HR is just full of complaints.
That's awesome.
For just
it's like pretzel day at the office.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
like the office,
literally kill somebody over the honey baked ham.
I love that. Good for them.
Yeah. All right. College football.
Yeah,
we're talking about a little bit. We're talking about the Egg Bowl earlier.
Yeah, it looks like Ole Miss is up now. Okay. Looks like Mississippi State's played a lot of field position so far, which is only 3-0. It's coming towards the end of the half. Into the first half here.
Iowa is Lane Kiffin running this offense?
I've enjoyed how just like not. Ole Miss thought this is going to be Hugh Freeze 2.0, and they've won some games. They're 9-2 right now. They're probably going to be 10-2 by the end of this one. Should be 10-2, which is great for Ole Miss. Great for. I mean, I'd love to be 10-2. He's just not going to win an SEC championship. I don't like that. Not at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin.
Oh,
I was saying they thought it would be the Hugh Freeze.
okay.
Again.
I was like, okay. I'm with you. I was like, who is going 10? I was getting Auburn and the Alabama game.
I
thought we were going straight to that.
I did forget that Hugh Freeze is once again in the SEC for another SEC team.
A much worse one.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, no, the Egg Bowl's happening right now. That's also the only college football game on Thanksgiving. Not the only one, but like the only one that matters. And I think, as far as I know, it is the only one. Okay. I was thinking there was another like MAC game today, but there wasn't. Or yeah, there was. Sorry, yeah. Okay, there was. No, that was Tuesday. Okay. Yes. This is the only college football game today. I feel like in the past years, I thought I saw one today, so I thought there was another MAC game, but I don't think there's another game that's always on Thanksgiving, if there is any others ever.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you got TCU, Oklahoma. Don't care. Whatever. I'm getting, I think it's just Tennessee's kind of worn me down this year. I'm getting so just in the not care realm. Iowa, Nebraska, again, just don't care. I do.
It seems like rivalries that are so one-sided.
I do love that the over-unders. Am I reading that correctly? 24.5. We got to bet the under, right? We have to.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Who do you
Miami
think wins?
Iowa, probably. Especially if the under hits. It's got to be Iowa, right?
They're plus money right now.
If Iowa loses and Nebraska's only able to score like 13 points, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Miami, Boston College. Don't care.
I think, God, what's his name in Nebraska? Who's the coach in Nebraska now?
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, yeah. I think Matt Rule might have a heart attack in this game. Coming from Baylor, where you scored at will in the Big 12, to playing a team like Iowa, I mean, he might, like, lose it in this game. I mean, just that over-under, just the fact that he knows he's not going to score 20 points, he might go crazy.
You know, I might watch that game now that we've talked about it so much. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I might, just for kind of the hilarity that could ensue.
It's on CBS.
And it's a noon game.
Weird, right?
I don't know about it for Friday. I don't know
That's
how that
true.
works.
I forgot it. Yeah, I forgot it was a Friday. But yeah, I thought that is kind of strange.
Missouri, Arkansas. I'm only mentioning it because it's an SEC game. Texas Tech. And then you get the Civil War Friday night. Can't wait. Didn't they have to rename it? Civil Conflict?
Yeah.
Oregon State, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot on the line in that game. I guess less since Oregon State lost last week, but still a lot on the line.
Yeah.
I guess at least it's more of like the rivalries, the rivalry, and then you have Oregon vying for a college football playoff spot. So I guess that's what does that.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter if they lose because they'll still be in the championship. Because Arizona's.
Yeah, this is just for college football playoff.
Yeah.
And it's still even a potential. Nothing's guaranteed for them. Even if they win. Saturday.
Wait, is it different? Because they'd be 6-2. Arizona would be 6-2. I don't know who would have that tiebreaker because they didn't play.
Then it must be regions, right? If they don't all play each other, I think that's the thing with the Big 10 or the Big 12. They all play each other. So they must have divisions. I'm pulling it up right now. So I'm pretty sure if you don't have divisions, it like almost has to have that head-to-head tie. That could be entirely wrong. I'm really dumb. I don't know anything. No, it doesn't have divisions. So right now, Oregon's 7-1 and ahead of them. So they haven't played each other?
No.
Yeah, how do they do that? I wonder what the first tiebreaker is. Let's hit a Google.
They both have a loss to Washington. And Arizona lost to USC. They also lost to Mississippi State. Does your overall record maybe have?
I bet it probably is overall record first.
Oh man, so Mississippi
probably
State
is, yeah.
Killing Arizona in that one. That's wild.
If two teams are tied for first place, both teams will participate in the championship game. The winner of the head-to-head will be the number one seed. If there's not a tie for first place, but two teams are tied for second, the two-team tiebreaker policy will apply, and the winner will be the number 2 seed and visiting team. If no game is played between the two tied teams or that game ends in a tie, okay. Win percentage against the next highest placed common opponent in the standings. What? Why would they say win percentage? It would just be.
I don't know. That doesn't do a lot for me.
So I guess it would win percentage against the next highest placed common opponent in the standings based on record. So did they both play?
They both played
Oregon State. Did they both play Oregon State? Or will they both have played Oregon State?
Arizona beat Oregon State, and then Oregon plays Oregon State. Obviously.
So if Oregon loses this game to Oregon State, then their college football playoff hopes are completely dead because they won't even play in the Pac-12 title. They're dead anyways if they lose, but they won't even get to play in the Pac-12 title.
Okay, Arizona will be in the Pac-12 title if they lose
because they beat Oregon State, correct?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot on the line.
A lot on the line in the civil.
More than we thought. Yeah.
Wait, no, the civil conflict is the UCF UConn rivalry.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know what this one is.
And they had to rename it because I think it used to be the Civil War. Which did you know that Corvallis and Eugene are only like 30 minutes apart?
Really?
Something like that. It's pretty crazy. 30 miles. Something like that. It was called the Civil War. I don't know what they renamed it. All right. Well, anyways, for that game, we talked about the Pac-12 for way too long just now.
Yeah, I think Oregon wins, and it doesn't even matter what we just talked about. So
no, if Oregon wins, it doesn't at all.
Yeah.
It completely matters if they lose. So,
yeah.
Saturday it is fun that the Big Ten has the Fox noon. That's their big game, which apparently the SEC and ABC are considering moving the big game from 3:30 to noon because apparently I guess it's done so well. The Fox noon game has. But I like your big time game being at 3:30 or
that
evening.
Sucks, especially like tailgating and stuff.
Yeah.
You want your big games to be later in the day. You don't want them to be at noon.
Yeah.
So I guess, it probably helps.
But ratings are apparently better in that noon window.
Yeah, because people in the South are watching it because they're at the tailgate. Yeah, I don't love that.
I'm not crazy about it either.
We'll see what happens. Because, what if those ratings tank when they change it? You go back to it?
I guess. You can't always go back to it, I guess. But I do like that we get to see Ohio State at Michigan. I'm also over/under 2 fights in pregame.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Michigan has the same setup. Ohio State, though, the visitors have to, or I believe it's the home team has to go through the visitors' end zone, they warm up on to get to their side. And there's always a fight at Ohio State during this rivalry. So I don't know about Michigan's setup, but I'm still putting it at 2.
Okay. Who do you think wins the game?
I feel like this is going to be one of the better iterations since Michigan's been good.
Yeah. I think Michigan is just going off last year. I know it has nothing to do with this year, but I think Ohio State had a better team last year and Michigan still won. I think Michigan has a better team this year and it's at home. I think I'm riding Michigan. I do think Michigan wins this football game. I think they have the better quarterback, and that's what makes the difference pretty much.
Well, see, I think Ohio State probably looks better as a total offensively, but I think Michigan looks more well-rounded as a football team.
Yeah.
That's why I'll lean Michigan, but I'm also like hesitant because if Ohio State's able to score, I don't know if Michigan can keep up at a pace. They do have Blake Corum, which is massive. I mean, that can't be understated. But I don't think J.J. McCarthy's all that great.
No, I mean he's a good Big 10 quarterback,
Yeah.
but
This is a fun rivalry. Talking about the Egg Bowl, this is a fun rivalry.
yeah, I agree.
And it's starting to matter so much more now. Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, good on Michigan for finally getting relevant
Right.
again. What else we got?
Just to rattle off some rivalries, Kentucky, Louisville, A&M, LSU, A&M, LSU. I mean, I just want another like 8 overtime game, 11 overtimes, however many they played. I just want that.
Iron Bowl.
Iron Bowl. I was watching a video about the kick six. That's one of my favorite football memories, aside from anything Tennessee.
I was watching that too. Apparently, Chris
game.
Davis is like the biggest Alabama fan.
Really?
Yeah, like he would make jokes. Apparently, like his roommate was doing the interview, but he would make jokes. They're like, "Hey, we're playing Alabama this week. Like, if I get in, I might just like miss a tackle and let them go score a touchdown." Like he would say stuff like that in the locker room. And then they're always like, "Oh, we ain't never letting this dude play."
Yeah.
And then he gets in for that kick.
I didn't realize that the kicker for Alabama was a redshirt freshman. I can't remember his name. He was subbed in because God, I can't believe I'm blanking on the other dude's name. The dude that was just awful. I'm pretty sure he kicked for like 4 years and he was terrible. But he had missed 3 of 4 field goals in that game. And so they put on a redshirt freshman to try a 57-yard field goal. I don't think Nick Saban, like I think he gets enough crap for begging for the 1 second before that kick to get put back on. I don't think he gets enough crap for also putting in a redshirt freshman to attempt that. That hadn't kicked in that game either.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's one of the worst coaching decisions I've ever heard. Like, I don't even have to hear that end result to tell you that's a bad decision.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. Shout out to our boys and the Sons of Saturday. Go enjoy it. Go whoop somebody's butt.
Do it. Florida State.
This would I hate Florida. I hope they don't win. It would be hilarious if they won.
Dude, I'm sprinkling.
I don't blame you.
I'm sprinkling. I mean, they think it's.
God. Mississippi State could have tied it up going into the half, and they missed a field goal. It would have had to be a 30 or what would that have been? A 47-yard field goal ish.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's defense hasn't been good, so I think this is a close game.
Yeah,
and like them having a red shirt or not a red shirt, he's a backup quarterback that no one really knows of. I listened to a thing on the backup quarterback. I think he's class of 2020, so he's been there forever. But he's like one of the leading, like he was a quarterback at Valdosta High School in Georgia, which is one of.
So he would have played for
Rush Probst.
Rush Probst.
Yeah. And was a 3-star and was like going to USF. And then Mike Norvell got the job at Florida State and offered him, took him on a visit 2 days later, and he committed. And he's been at Florida State ever since. And he's thrown for like 700 yards in his career or something like that. And that was with last week. He had 200 yards, I think, against North Alabama. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. I just don't know how. I mean, I know if they win, they have to win the ACC championship. But man, like they're not going to do anything against those top other 3 teams in the college football.
It almost, I mean, and we kind of argue about this with like TCU. Not argues not the right word, but we discuss like where would you rather be, like which team would you rather be, to Tennessee or TCU last year. I guess kind of find out what Florida State maybe thinks. Like maybe they just go lose this Florida game and just end it all.
Well, I mean, TCU did win the first game. I think it's different if you just get blown out in like Oklahoma used to. They'd be the 4 seed and just get blown out by whatever SEC team was number 1. It was like, why would you want that? Other than saying you've been in the college football playoff, but it's like, hey, have you ever been to Washington, D.C.? Yeah, I've been in the airport. Like, that's not the same. So, Georgia Tech, probably not going to be much of a game. Clemson, South Carolina. South Carolina's to win this game to go to a bowl game. I love this.
Yeah, make it more interesting. It was pretty funny that the Spurs Up Show thinks that South Carolina has the edge in coaching. They put that out every week.
Oh.
Listen, I'll dog Dabo with the best of them. But the dude's won national championships. He also they looked really bad earlier in the year. Like they actually looked bad. They don't look that bad anymore. They've turned a corner. Now I'm not saying they're a great football team. They're far from great, but they've definitely turned a corner. And the dude's also won 2 national championships. So that's just bold. So it kind of hurts my heart, but I kind of just want Dabo to beat the living piss out of him this year.
That would be funny. Yeah, everybody gets payback on South Carolina for last year. Yeah. North Carolina, NC State. Don't really care that much.
No.
Yeah, it should be a fun weekend of football. Some decent matchups, and hopefully Tennessee takes care of business and makes it enjoyable for all fans too.
Absolutely.
College basketball.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. I mean, I like when you go in that tournament, you know it's tough to win. Man, I just wish we would have beat Purdue because I think we probably beat Marquette, but like it just seems like when we lost that Purdue game, that Kansas game was an uphill battle from the get-go.
Yeah, and what really like makes me upset is that I said it. I can't remember if it was Sunday or even a little while ago when we talked about this team heading to Maui. I was like, I mean, it's gonna be a tough week. Like there are some really good basketball teams there, and I think that win Monday got me feeling too good, and then I just got upset again.
Yeah, I mean. You played with them. You competed with both of them. I do think like you're up there in the top, part of college basketball in terms of like team wise. But there are still some issues with this basketball team.
Yeah.
And the way we play defense, like that's hard to replicate. Like when you play like one game after the other.
Right.
Like with no rest, that's difficult to do. But man, it just seems like that Purdue game like took so much out. Like 52 fouls.
That was dumb. Rick Barnes, well-earned tech. People try to say he doesn't have fire anymore.
He's got a little bit of something to him this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has. I mean, people have been saying that a while. I mean, there was like 2 years ago when he almost collapsed John Fulkerson's chest, showing a ref what happened. People forget that pretty often. He just coaches differently than Bruce Pearl, which people fall in love with. And I get it's endearing, someone fighting like that, but doesn't mean he doesn't care or fight. But yeah, I think that's just it's hard to compete with a guy who gets the benefit of the doubt. And it is funny, like in comparison, Zach Edey, who's a really good basketball player, national player of the year last year, like those guys get the benefit of the doubt. When you look at other guys that big, they never get the benefit of the doubt. That poor Tennessee Tech 7-footer who could barely move, he got the dumbest fouls called on him just because he was big. If he was Zach Edey in that game, he wouldn't get those. And that's just the way it goes. And I would say that that's the case for everyone. But for some reason, when Grant Williams wins SEC Player of the Year, he still gets whistles blown all the time on him. So it's not always the case. It's just a good rule of thumb, but rules are meant to be broken. So
Yeah. Yeah, just like he's 7'4". Like we don't have to help him out.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to foul out Toby Awaka for some crappy. Like some of those fouls are fouls. I get it, but like some of them, like we're trying to get around a 7 foot, 300-pound guy. Like let Toby Awaka have some physicality in there to even compete with it.
Yeah, and I don't get the I don't get the hard. I feel like we get a lot of them, and I think we maybe use our hips a little too much rather than our butts. But man, there's so many fouls that they're just both teams are playing hard and physical. We get them all the time when a ball goes up for a rebound. We'll throw, and sometimes it's a hip, and that gets us a foul, but sometimes it's not. And I feel like we get called for that crap all the time. It's like it's a physical basketball game. Those guys are running and playing hard. Like,
yeah, we don't
just
have to call a foul every
just
time
because the guy
somebody
hits the ground.
Yeah, somebody touches somebody. Yeah,
It's crazy. Whatever.
and like in the Kansas game, it wasn't as physical, but it was like it didn't have it wasn't that kind of like breaking up the flow every time Purdue had the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just Tennessee couldn't hit enough shots. Dalton Connect was basically a no-show in the second half of both these games. I don't know what really happened. Maybe they adjusted on how to play him a little bit, but I do think he is a little bit hesitant just using his 6'9" frame to just go to the rim at times. And especially when there is, 7-footer just camping in the lane. That's the biggest thing. It's not the fouls. How do you let Zach Edey just sit in the lane for 40 minutes?
It was funny. Like almost every offensive possession, you would see a tweet about it, and you're like, yeah, they're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I just really wanted to get some revenge on Purdue and Hunter Dickinson, and it's just like Zach Edey was National Player of the Year. Dude, go to the league. Why are you still in college basketball? You lame ass. Go. Hunter Dickinson, the same thing. He's like, I'm just gonna go to Kansas, who's already one of the top teams in the country, and go to the league. What are you still doing here? We struggle with big men. And I think it's a little bit because we do play physical. Probably doesn't help us. We don't have a Grant Williams. Maybe Tobey gets to that point, but like, I don't understand why we didn't try to go, and maybe just because we're in foul trouble, but like, put Tobey and Jonas in there at the same time.
Yeah, I was very frustrated about not seeing them. I was frustrated that before this game. I feel like they need to be on the floor more often together.
Yeah. And then, what were we? I have it somewhere. I wrote it down. Like what we were from three. 17 of 63 behind the arc in those two losses. Guys, that ain't good. Like we go on these like scoring droughts, and I know we have a question about that, so let me go ahead and read that so I can get to it. All ball everything says, why do you think offensive droughts are so normal for Barnes teams? I realize the season is early and we played elite teams that I feel like it's way too normal for a team as consistently good as ours. Still think that is going to be a phenomenal season with a nearly unlimited ceiling, but it's so weird. It's the same issue every year. I don't have an answer. I have no clue.
Yeah. It does. It does feel it feels like we're trapped in like Groundhog's Day, except the people change, but the circumstances don't. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have a huge offensive presence down low. I think we settle for they might be like open threes, but if you're not a good 3-point shooting team, let's try to find a better look. Like Dalton Connect and Santi should be the only ones really shooting, and Jordan Gainey should be the only ones shooting threes.
Put a rule on it.
Yeah, Jonas, no. Josiah, probably not. I know he's
Josiah, I
shooting,
think gets a green light now.
yeah, he's shooting well. So
Jonas, though, I don't get frustrated with him shooting threes. It's when I feel like he's like settling early in the shot clock or something. It's like, what are we doing?
And Zakai, man, I know
he's struggled, but he's coming back. I have faith.
Yeah. But it's so far.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's up right next to the 3-point line. He's like backward toward the logo. I don't know. I feel like we do settle. Like, we're in a slump. We continue to just try to shoot our way out of it, and like just get an easy bucket to see the ball go through the net.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know. I don't know if Dalton Connect. I know he dealt with some turnovers. I don't know if that was just him he was just wore out from the Purdue game, or did Rick Barnes just get under his skin where it just shut him down? I hope not, but he just didn't look the same in that Kansas game.
I didn't get to watch that Kansas game, so
it was especially in the second half. I think he had 2 points in the second half. I don't know. You have another tall task. I know North Carolina lost today, but you do have to go against Armando Bacot and North Carolina away at the Dean Dome. So, it doesn't get a whole lot easier. And then you're kind of back to normal. So hopefully get some rest, get back on track, take care of business on the road, and, let's get this thing rolling.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about the losses. It was just the way that it happened seemed very familiar to the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Also didn't hate Olivier just getting absolutely crossed up and was weak in the knees. You see that?
No comment. Yeah, that was not a great look.
Yeah. All right.
Can we talk about, though, I was gonna say no comment, but I feel like he did this at Tennessee too. When he squares a guy up, he gets real low in a good defensive position. And then when the guy starts dribbling, he stands straight up.
Yeah.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. Hate it for him. I've said this over and over again, and I'm going to continue to say it. I'm not going to have any remorse for any player that transfers. So I know a lot of people are just like, I wish you the best. I don't. I don't. I hope you suck, honestly. I don't hope anything bad happens to you. I just hope you don't play well.
Any more questions?
Yeah. What do you guys think about the substantial ticket price increases again next year at Lindsey Nelson Stadium? My tickets price will double for the second straight year. That was from Todd.
Sorry, Todd. I feel y'all not quite as much on the double part, but as someone who's had their tickets for a very long time for football, they have seen price increases even when we sucked. So I guess just enjoy that you're winning. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, and just from a baseball standpoint, mine went up $750 this year. Next year they go up another $500. I mean, it's just like I can't afford that.
Right.
And those people that made that, those season ticket holders that kind of made that atmosphere what it was, where Tony Vitello referred to it as a hornet's nest, those people aren't going to be able to afford those tickets. They're going to be going to the highest bidder pretty much, and all these corporate tickets that people buy up and can pay for, and there's going to be nobody in those seats until it's a big game. So I just think I understand you're trying to make as much money as possible, and that's something Danny White's good at. But you're also hurting the common fan by doing that too.
Oh, I think more so than the common fan, you're hurting the environment of Lindsey Nelson, and that, like you mentioned. So,
yeah. So we'll see if.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see the stadium upgrades. I'm happy to see him get more seats available. But it's one of those things like, well, I mean, I would gladly buy season tickets to baseball now. You know that they don't like. I was never going to buy MVP season tickets. You know, but I wasn't thinking they were going to drastically increase. So now it's like, oh, I'm probably not going to because you made them more expensive.
Oh yeah,
much more expensive. Not just like you didn't just make them more expensive. You doubled them, tripled them. You know, in price. So
yeah. And what point does it stop? Are you going to keep raising them until like people don't renew them anymore? Is that what you're trying to go for? Is like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of crappy. Like you're seeing all these huge increases in ticket prices. Like, is there going to come to a point where that's the ticket price, or are we just going to keep going?
Also, while we're complaining, Danny White, fix the sound in Neyland Stadium. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Can't hear the ref. Sometimes can't hear the announcer. And you couldn't hear in Dolly Parton. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, Dallas got it right.
You've had 2 years. It's been bad since we put that new Jumbotron up. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Then I said, it'll take them time. They'll fix the sound. They got new speakers. Stadiums like holding volume a different way because of the renovations. It's been 2 years. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Did y'all not even do a sound check with Dolly? Do you think everything was just going to work out just on the fly for a 1 minute rendition of Rocky Top? Stupid.
Yeah.
Also, Dolly Parton still got it.
Oh, yeah.
God. Whew.
I mean, in a Dallas cheerleader outfit? What?
Miss Dolly.
Oh, yeah. Jerry Jones paid a hot money to see that, didn't he?
Look, I don't wish ill on anyone, but if something happens to, can't even think of his name right now because I'm too flustered. But you call me. Oh no, we lost Landon, and it's just me. Hopefully, he gets back in here. I don't know if his laptop just died. That was such a sudden loss. I don't know if we're in a most important, or I guess we're stupidity since it's a Thursday. It feels like a weekend.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I didn't know what happened to you. Hey, did I talk about that North Carolina? I did. Okay, dude, I saw another video on it the other day. Just want to make sure I mentioned it. Most important. But we're good. Stupidities.
I had something. Oh, dude, the Dr. Meng Chiang, the Purdue president.
He's an idiot. Why are people responding to him? He's a president of university. He's not, and Randy Boyd is an oddity at that level of administration in academia. Of course he's going to say that. He's an idiot. He doesn't know basketball. Why are people responding to him? I feel like people just make Tennessee fans look dumb for no reason. And it makes me mad. But yeah, that was a stupid tweet. Sorry. Go ahead. You can share what he tweeted, just in case people didn't see it.
He said watching Purdue basketball playing against a wrestling team that fouls 100%. Boilermaker, student athletes, be safe.
Also, I did see a tweet where someone accused him of being a Chinese spy, which is just a hilarious jump when someone just said something bad about your basketball team. Like, that's just a hilarious jump. But if it did turn out to be true and that's how he got caught because he tweeted something bad about Tennessee basketball, it would also be hilarious. I'm not saying he is. I don't even know if he's like of Chinese, I don't even know if that's his nationality or I don't know. But I'm just saying if somehow it was true, that would actually be funny. But yeah, an absurd jump to make.
Yeah, just stay in your lane. Don't try to get in there. We're already upset about the officiating. Don't try to just stir the pot.
Man, I don't know if I have anything. I guess nothing too stupid's happened this week.
Did you see Jim Irsay?
Yeah, who let him have his phone when he was just pounding whiskey? Or what is he doing? Is he mixing that prescription pills again? Like, what's happening?
No clue. I'm not reading that because
Also, did he say? And this, like, is his mom black? Is that what he said?
He said, "If my black mother Dorothy was still alive,
Is that
you'd
true?
be in some big hot water. You are mean and ugly. You're a nothing burger." I just love that we, like, as a society, have like put like a description of something and then just put burger after it to make it like a better insult. Like, you're an idiot sandwich. you're a nothing burger. I love that.
His Wikipedia doesn't mention his mom's. It says his mother was the daughter of Polish Catholic immigrants.
Definitely black.
That sounds like the polar opposite of black. Was she? I mean, that would be an oddity.
I don't know. I have no clue.
So I can find a picture of her. That's just. Surely Jim Irsay's mom has had to have been Googled.
Yeah. I got one more. It's Jordan Poole. I don't know if you saw this, but they're down. It's the fourth quarter. It's like 4 minutes left. They're down 10. He like rolls after a basket. He rolls the ball up the court. The clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, that was insane. That was hilarious. And he scored.
Okay, I didn't even have to see the rest of it.
Or he got close to scoring. He got to the basket, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Poole might be the dumbest NBA basketball player of all time.
I don't think Jim Irsay's mom was black. Why did he say that?
I don't think he knew what he was saying.
I don't think he does either. I'm just like, what's the? There's got. I just assumed there was a story to it in some way other than just drunk. But,
you'd be in some big hot water. You are mean and ugly. I love that he used 3 emojis in this thing.
Yeah, what in the world?
But even if she was black, like,
yeah, it's still. I don't know what he's doing. I just like. I feel like that's just a weird thing to say, especially if she's not.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, I'm just reading now. I found an article about this.
You found an article about that?
About Jim Irsay, like his rant, his tirade.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys, thank y'all for listening. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Except for Alabama fans. I don't really care if they have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Apparently he did have a woman in his life at some point named Dorothy.
Okay.
Who was black. But it wasn't his mom. Maybe.
How old is Jim Irsay?
Maybe like a. Don't worry, that's kind of already been compared. So I guess I'm not the only one.
No wonder why Peyton Manning wanted to go to Denver. No wonder why Andrew Luck just gave up football. Jim Irsay just
takes it out of you, man.
Off the rails. Yeah. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all. It's been fun. We'll see you. Hopefully, see you on Saturday. Stop by.
Yeah, stop by. Yeah, we'll have some food, some drinks. Yeah, it'll be a fun tailgate, last tailgate of the year. So we'll be fired up for it. And let's go get a dub. Need one.
Please.
Been a minute.
Please.
Thanks again. Have a good rest of your weekend. Eat some leftovers. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.
I forgot it was me. I'm sorry. I'm used to Joe and Dylan being here.
Here you go.
See you guys.